It feels absolutely crazy to start talking about back to school prep, but nevertheless, here we are. If you are new here, my name is Rachel. I'm a mother of 5 out of Florida. 4 of those kids will be in school this year. I've done this many times over, and I have lots of tips and things to help you save time and money along the way while you go along with me as I prep my house and get ready for back to school. And it's still crazy that I'm saying that. One of my biggest tips is definitely do things early as far as like shopping sales. If you wait until those like week or two when you do the tax-free sale because you think that's gonna save you the money, it actually doesn't. The first thing on my list is I actually have to run to Target because this last week they were running a giant sale and it was 30% off of the uniforms for kids. My kids can use the uniform bottoms, so I literally got Declan 4 new ones and Gwen 4 new ones, actually 5, but they canceled one out of her order. So either way, they both got their bottoms 30% off, and that's fantastic. So I gotta go Target first, then we'll catch back up. Home from Target, but before I show you any of that, I did wanna jump in to today's sponsor, and I wanna thank you guys for sticking with me when I have sponsored content. It means the world to me, and I would never showcase a product on my channel that I do not believe in, and this one I definitely do, and it's back to school related. It is child headphones. If you have not sent a child back to school yet, most schools, if not all schools at this point, require headphones with your kid that come on the cord that can be plugged into a MacBook, a tablet, anything like that. I found iClever last year, actually maybe even the year before at this point. Either way, I absolutely adore their products. These are the 2 headphones for this school year. These belong to Declan. These are for Gwen. Brianna's about to be a freshman in high school. She doesn't need plug-in headphones anymore. Otherwise, she'd have a pair of these too. And no, you don't have to buy a new pair every school year. My kids just wanted different colors. These were Declan's from last school year. They still look absolutely perfect. They close up really, really small. They've got this little regulator right here on the cord that has a kid volume, so they can't crank it up any higher, and it protects their ears, protects their hearing. These things last so long. They are durable. They just wrap them up like this, throw them in a bag, and these have been in a 3rd grader's classroom the entire school year. Gwen, she left at my mother's house over summer, but hers look just as good, and they were in a kindergarten classroom last year. Declan wanted the identical pair, which is exactly fine. That's what I did. But now these are his home headphones, and these will be for the upcoming school year. Like absolutely perfect. I would send him with these with no problem. That's how great they still are. Gwen's the one that wanted something a little different. These are Gwen's. Aren't they so cute? It has a little pull tab and the ears will light up. I don't want to pull the pull tabs yet because I want those very fresh for day 1. Okay, fully adjustable. And they have like little notches. So see 1, 2, 3, 4 little music notes. The other ones have the actual numbers. So if the kid knows, oh, okay, I'm the most comfortable on number 2, and they can put it on number 2. But yeah, look at these things. Yeah, they fit me. This is crazy. And the glowing ears, it's not a static thing. There's a button. You could turn it on and off and change it. And yeah, she doesn't have to leave it on. She doesn't even have to turn it on at all. If the school doesn't allow it, that's fine. She just still has really cute cat ears, but no lights. This is what I'm talking about down here. 85 decibel. It says that it is a safe volume, 3 years old and up. So these can be for like starter preschool and all the way through elementary school. My son is going into 4th grade, and like I said, he's still using these perfectly fine. And they fit my head. So I mean, even if your middle schooler needs ones that can plug in, iClever's got you covered on that too. I love the iClever headphones. My kids love them. They are fantastic, durable, last you a long time. Everything will be in the description box down below so you can check them out for your kids as well. I refuse to get any other brand for headphones for school, and that's not me boasting for iClever for them. That is strictly for me as a mom. They are wonderful. I would like to thank iClever one more time for sponsoring that portion of today's video. Now these are gonna be going away until the week of school when I bring everything out and I label it. If it leaves my house and it goes to that school, it's got a label on it. So all of these are on that list of getting a paint pen with the kids' names on it. That's another one of my back to school tips. Label everything. I'm gonna go put those away though, and we're gonna jump into everything I got for Target and a few more of the tips and tricks that involve all of that stuff. Target and Five Below, a few little things for back to school that if I did not get now, they would be sold out by the time we really dig into back to school those last 2 weeks. I'm gonna show you all this. I mean, obviously, this is not back to school, but Cedar got a new mop. I have to try it. I like to get my kids' uniforms as soon as I catch a sale and right away because they are both in very common sizes. And if I don't get them when I see them, especially if they're on sale, I'm not going to get the sizes that I need, or I'm going to have to pay over for what I need. Weasley watching everything I'm doing. But Declan, I got him 4 new pairs of shorts. Now, I'm not sure about this darker color. They did change it, and it's a little more olive-y than khaki this year. So I might have to change those out, but his school's usually fine with it. But they would normally be $8. I paid $5 a pair, which is why I make sure to shop the sales. And then Gwen's skirts, one of them was supposed to be 13, one of them was supposed to be 17, and instead I paid 9 or 7 and 9, something like that. Either way. And then they canceled another one of the skirts. I don't know why. I'm still going to try and find that one because it's super, super cute. But this is why I do this. Save the money, shop early. This is back to school related, but it does help me bring up a few things. With back to school, I love to do some kind of special breakfast and or a special snack when the kids get home. And Target has tons of these little plates. They had these, they had apples, a bunch of stuff. So I got a set of those. For that purpose, I found this really glittery mouse. This is mine. It was in the dollar spot, so that's mine. Gwen likes these bento boxes. She got the unicorn last year, so we got her the strawberry this year. 3 little compartments. These things are $5. Hers lasted the entire school year last year with a kindergartner, and you know they're destructive. Not back to school, but you know, that's just mom life right there. These are for Meet the Teacher. It's always nice. I like to bring something when we meet the brand new teachers. And the kids' school is really small, so we probably already know their teacher anyways. So Declan picked this for his teacher this year, and then Brianna picked this, or Gwen picked this. And they're only $3 a piece. They're just super cute. So think of the teachers for back to school. Five Below was partial back to school, partial just straight fun stuff, mostly like little Halloween stuff right here. I will go through both of them, but for what's going on over here, Brianna is starting high school, and we always keep hand sanitizer, and they started this cherry scent. That's new. So that's what that's for, is her backpack for starting school. Declan, he wanted something to hang on his backpack. Five Below is really good about that. Steven Universe, he is obsessed. So we found one of those for his backpack. My son's girlfriend loves Halloween. She loves Michael so much, and I saw this pin, and she's going into college, so I figured she could hang that from her backpack. These are what started the Five Below little thing. Look at them. Rubbish removers. They're trash erasers. So when my kids are sitting there, oh, that was trash. Oh, that was garbage. What they were working on or writing, they can literally erase it with trash. There's an old pizza box, a cut up apple core, like a bit on apple core, a crushed can, a literal trash bag. Like, I just thought these were so funny. And this whole thing will be going in our area where I set up a homework station. So I do set up a homework station. All of this that I'm talking about, I will make another video closer to back to school showing my entire setup. On to the fun stuff, because you know I love to share. We saw this in Five Below. It is a bunch of different activities and stickers. Like there's door hangers, there's a card game, all kinds of just fun little things. Gwen went nuts, and then Brianna was even excited. So they're going to do this together. I have never seen in person a School of Rock shirt. I love this movie. My husband loves this movie. Brianna is the one that saw it, and this is hers. She's got the small, but then I know that my husband is going to lose his mind. So we got one for Connor as well, but just absolute yes. But look, we don't need no education. And then this shirt for me, it is just absolutely perfect. I am definitely a Halloween and fall girl, and this just absolutely spoke to me. It is going to be slightly oversized on me. They didn't have a medium, but they did have the large, and that's fine. I love it to be nice and comfy, cozy, so that's mine. Another tip that helps me save money is what we're going to go do now, and that is I'm going to go start digging into my kids' drawers and looking around. I've already did a little bit of it because we had to do a uniform swap a few weeks ago. My kids' school, they only allow shirts from one establishment, so we do a uniform swap and it saves some money. But before we jump into the bedrooms, this is what reminded me of this. My front closet is where I keep all of the water bottles, lunch boxes, backpacks, everything like that. Well, I found this in Aldi this week for Gwen. It is a stainless steel water bottle. She went through almost all of hers last year, either broke them or lost them, and I know that she's got one left. Declan, I think he has 2 or 3, but even he's asked me for a larger water bottle for this school year. But water bottles, Check for cells, start looking now so you can put them away, because the younger your kids are, you're going to need several of them. In front of me is Gwen's dresser. Her sock and underwear drawer, I already know that she needs both for the new school year, and that is a disorganized mess between bathing suits, socks, underwear, hair ties. Down here into this drawer is all of her tops. This drawer is all of her bottoms. Now the problem with that, I have all of my kids put away their own clothes. I'm teaching them. Gwen is only 6. She understands when I hand her a pile, I say drawer number 1, or I tell her her jammy drawer, or I tell her her bottom drawer. Well, when the school year ended, everything that I cleaned as far as uniform pieces got put into either the shirt drawer or the bottom drawer, even though she has one of those hanging organizer things in her closet, which is another thing I recommend for the younger kids, is either certain hangers or having a thing where each day is already done, because it makes life a lot easier for you and for them getting ready and getting out the door early. I'll go over that in a different video. But for this one, all of her stuff for school is in her normal drawers, and we've been fighting with it getting dressed all summer. Just didn't want to deal with it, to be completely honest, but I'm going to show you what I mean. It is overflowing, like I said, but it has uniforms like this, all of this right here. All that's uniforms that wouldn't normally be in here. There's another one. So I need to take all of this stuff out so I can get it organized where it goes, and I can search through it and see what she's got and what she doesn't. See, it's just everywhere in here. Oh, and another one. This gigantic pile is what was in there that doesn't belong. And then into her bottoms. It is a disorganized mess, but she's learning to put her own stuff away. But like, that's uniform. Not all of this still fits her. That's why I bought her uniform bottoms. But I need to get the uniform pieces out of here so I can figure out what she needs. This is more than enough for over a week's worth of getting her dressed for school. If your kid goes to a uniform school, I do recommend having more than a week, having like 6 days or 7 days, just in case. Uniform school specific for part of this. My kids, they have to have khaki on the bottom, and they have to have one of the uniforms that are monogrammed on the top. Now, there have been mornings where Declan's come to me and there's been a rip in part of his shirt, or Gwen came to me last year and she had art the last time she wore that skirt and it was stained on it with like a lot of paint or something. I'm not going to let them go to school looking like that, because I know I'm going to get a phone call. So therefore, I make sure to have extras on hand, because if I only have 5 shirts, 5 bottoms, for one, I have to do laundry every single Sunday, which I do anyways with uniforms. That's not the point. But if something happens to one of those, now I'm down to less than a full week. If something happens to another one, I'm down even further. So I like to make sure I have like a 7-day week, just to be safe. Aside from talking about the damage that can happen to the uniforms, I've had numerous mornings where I hand Gwen a purple shirt. She didn't want to wear that one. Or I handed Declan a certain pair of shorts. He didn't want to wear those. He wanted a different one. So I also have things like that. When it comes to uniforms, I make sure to have backups. That's just my whole point with this, is backups. Bottoms that still fit, dresses, polo shirts, Spirit Day shirts. These are every Friday. They're allowed to wear this instead of a uniform shirt if we want the kid to. Those are all the bottoms I'm going to bag up and donate to the school that she can no longer fit in. Brianna has taken over her little organizer thing for all of her school uniforms, and there's even a few extra pieces in here that I have to go through, but I need to clean out this entire closet, and I'm definitely not going to do that on camera because it's going to take me forever. But this is the thing that Gwen's uniform pieces are going to be going in once I get all this situated. I at least clean this out so I could put them away, but shirts are in there, bottoms are in there, and then dresses are in that bottom one. See how dark it is? This is Declan's. His dresser is in the closet. I do need to get Gwen one of these bigger ones because he's so much easier, because he's got underwear over here, socks, jammies, get my camera to behave, shirts, pants, and all of his uniforms have their own drawer right down there. But I'm going to do the same thing I did with Gwen's. I'm just going to go through his uniforms, see what needs to be replaced and what doesn't. I have a crazy video game going. I think they said Elden Ring or something. But now this is ready. He did have a shirt that had a hole in it, so I got rid of that one. And some of these shorts are going to move to his everyday shorts for his new ones, just because the newer ones don't have any holes, rips, tears, anything. And these are just like He plays in these. They've got stains from the school year. They're khaki. So we might as well just move them up into here and use the new ones for the school year. This front closet was just recently organized, so it's not bad. That's Brianna's for her dance team. That's all of our stuff for when we go out. This is for staying at grandma's house. We do also have the beach bag right here, but then everything else here is back to school related. Like in this one is all the lunch boxes and little containers like that. And then this one is for the cup items. Declan has quite a few in there. I do have to get rid of this bottom blue one because that leaks. And then Brianna's big old cup is in there. Gwen's only last one that survived because that pink one also leaks. But at least now we have this one ready to add to the drawer. I wanted this video to be full of different tips and tricks for getting ready for back to school as far as the prepping part now. Now there's a lot of other things that I will do closer to time. In here is my pantry. There's a cabinet in here I do need to organize. I'm not gonna do that yet because I'm not buying my back to school snacks. Snacks in school are a necessity, and another way to save money is to buy in bulk. We take a Sam's trip that weekend right before school starts, and we will grab whatever snacks my kids are going to need, because at that point we've already done Meet the Teacher, and they've been like, okay, well, kindergarten, they had 2 snacks in the day. Declan was 3rd grade, he had 1. Gwen's going into 1st grade. I don't remember if 1st grade, if Declan had 2 snacks or 1 snack. So therefore, I will already have that information, and I can make my Sam's trip. Buy in bulk, saves money, lasts longer, less trips to the store, just all around great. But I have to organize in there. I'm not ready to do that yet. So that's why we're skipping that, as well as my refrigerator. There's certain areas of items I keep in there. I will do a full-blown prepping my house, physically prepping it that weekend right before school starts, so you can see everything that I do, the labeling, the organizing, every bit of it. School supplies. My kids, their school, we pay, they shop, they pick exactly what each teacher wants, and that's how they do it. My kids go to a much smaller school. Now, if you have to get school supplies, you're about 3 weeks out, maybe even a month out, you can go ahead and start doing that. They put the list in stores, they put the lists online per district. If you've never done it before, you can look it up online and it'll tell you the school supplies. Now, when it comes to my high schoolers, I didn't really have that option. Like Brianna, we won't know until she picks up her schedule all of 3 days before school. And that is rush time, and almost all the items are gone. So right now, if there's any pens that she likes, pencils specific that she likes, any little folders, notebooks, blank paper, spiral notebooks, almost all teachers are gonna need those. Graph paper sells out like that in Walmart because they're the best price for graph paper. If you have a child going into a math class, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna need at least 1 pack. So if you want to, put it on hand, or at least put it in your homework section. And that's the other thing, is I keep a designated homework section. The school supplies I purchase are for that purpose. I will have pencils, pens, crayons, markers, extra paper, extra notebooks, glue, anything that my kids could possibly need to do their homework at home. I like to have a station here. So that way, if they didn't bring their pencil case home from school, my kids aren't allowed to bring their pencil case home from school at the one that they go to. I'm not relying on anything from that. I have my own station set up at home. I will set that up again in that later video. You'll see it. But I have a homework station ready to go. It has saved us tremendously. You guys saw the erasers from Five Below? That's what that's for, is the homework station. One of my favorite tips, especially if you have a younger kid, this is their first year entering school, they're like 4 years old, and they're going to be put in a lunchroom. There's one teacher for a bunch of kids. There's a few assistants walking around, but make sure that your child can open whatever you send with them in their lunchbox. All these little items are cute. They're great, very easy to throw in the lunchbox. I mean, there's a lot more cost-effective ways to do this, but if you're going to send these things, make sure your child can open this themselves. Pull off this piece, all by themselves without assistance, because otherwise they're gonna be stuck waiting for someone to be able to come around and help them. Same goes with anything like this. If you send your child stuff in a Ziploc baggie, in a box, practice ahead of time so you know that your child can successfully open and close everything you send on their own. Juice boxes are a big one where you don't even think about it, that your kid would struggle opening that. Gwen could not do these in preschool, even last year with kindergarten. I refused to send any of the pouches because it's very hard to get the straw at the right angle to go in there. She gets boxes. real boxes that are very easy to put the straw in the hole, she will get any of these. I buy them in a big old box at Sam's Club. You can buy any brand juice you want, but a box is a lot easier for them for the younger ages. The first day is going to be hectic, and if you're anything like me, I love having day one photos. I've had them every single school year. I have no intention on stopping that. I have to plan an extra 10 to 15 minutes on that first day, and actually I do that for the entire first week, is I will give myself that extra 10 to 15 minutes because it makes a huge difference. New buses are on the road, new parents are on the road. Traffic can be crazy. Your kid might not want to wear that outfit. You might not find the pair of shoes. It might have taken you longer to plan that lunch out. You don't know. Just give yourself that extra 10 to 15 minutes. It makes a huge, huge difference. Give yourself grace. In all of this, back to school is rough on the kid, on the parents, on the school, on everybody involved. It is an adjustment, and it is a very quick set adjustment. Give yourself grace. If it goes a little rough, it's fine. If not everything goes according to plan, it's fine. Give yourself the grace. I've done this so many years, and 2 years ago, I went to Carline in my slippers. I didn't even realize I was going to first day drop off without real shoes on my feet because I was rushing so much, and I did not just take 2 seconds to look down. Yeah, so it happens to the best laid plans. Anything can go wrong. Give yourself grace. I'm a Pinterest mom. You don't need to be. That is one of those things that gets thrown in your face that you're a bad parent if you don't do these things. Don't feed into that crap. I do it because I like it and it feeds my creativity. That's another reason why I create YouTube videos and TikToks. It's for my own creative outlet. Creative outlet. There's the way to say that. That's what I do that stuff for. If you don't want to have this full-blown beautiful sign for your kid for the first day of school pictures, don't do it. If you don't want that aesthetically pleasing lunchbox of crap that your kid's never gonna eat, don't do it. I don't do that. I don't put a thing in their lunchbox that I know they're not gonna eat. I'm not wasting my money, I'm not wasting my time, and I'm not having them come home starving. So just don't buy into that crap. It doesn't make you any less of a parent. If you don't wanna put a lunchbox note, don't do it. If you wanna do the extra over-the-top ones, do it. Do what makes you happy, but don't buy into all the crap you're gonna see online that's gonna make you feel bad. Do you, just do you, and don't listen to the rest of that, just phase it out. I think that's all of them. I do have several other videos that cover everything from doctor's appointments and all that. I will just leave those in the description box down below if you want more tips and tricks. There's tons of them, and I will have the ones that go further into the prep work, which I will be doing in another video in probably a couple weeks. As I really set my house up. My house is not ready yet. We have still several more weeks of summer and we want to enjoy that. I love sharing these tips and tricks with you. I have 5 kids. Tristan, this will be his first year in college. I have never sent a kid off to college. So that is gonna be a whole new project for me to do all of that side of back to school. But I have sent kids to school for, what is that? Tristan is 19, and he's been, 15 years of back to school stuff that I'm trying to help you to make it easier on you. Anything I can share to make things easier for you guys, that's exactly what I love to do. I had 2 tiny humans trying to drive me crazy. They want to go out in the pools. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I would like to once again thank iClever for sponsoring that portion of today's video. Don't forget to check them out for headphones for school. All the information will be in the description box down below. They are absolutely a fantastic company. You saw Declan's headphones from last year, and we're gonna keep using them year after year because they are that good. If the tips and tricks were helpful and you are new and you're not subscribed, I really hope you consider subscribing, thumbs up, all those crazy things, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.